Hi, and thank you for joining me today in this very gloomy day in Stockholm, but we're gonna try to make it more fun by talking about business objectives, KPIs, how to reach those on social, and what you can do with your content to reach your goals. Just stuff that we can do to increase our ROI, more or less. So today is about how to optimize your social media to reach business KPIs. Is it around here? And this is what we'll cover today. We're going to start off by identifying purpose of content at every stage of the funnel for your business, and then how to optimize that content for each stage. I'll show you at least 3 types of videos that you can boost your funnel with right away. And I'll do a step-by-step tutorial. We'll head into the tool. I'll show you how we create them and how you can do it by yourself in just a couple of minutes. So this webinar is a bit different from the others because I'm not an expert. This is not really my field, but I will talk more about this later. But I'm fortunate enough to work very closely with my colleague Sophia, who's like the top performance marketer. And she's been kind enough to share some best practices. And I'll also just try to do this from my point of view, because I know that a lot of you, just like me, sometimes have to do middle and bottom of funnel content that might seem a lot more complicated, but it seems more complicated than it is. And that's what we'll do today. And I will try, as always, not to rabble too much, so there will be time for a Q&A. But as I said, feel free to jot down a question whenever you have one, and we'll take them as we go as well. So I want to, of course, introduce myself so you know who's doing all of the rambling today. And that's me. My name is Heidi Bordal, and I work as a community manager here at Storykit, meaning I try to do community building activities such as these kind of digital events, some in-person events. I handle the distribution of our content on our social channels, some newsletter, a little bit of everything, which is amazing. And yeah, like I said, we're like, a lot of us are in the same boat. We have a lot of, like, marketing used to be maybe one role. Today it's at least 7 different. So we have to juggle a lot of things. But we're in this together, and hopefully I'll share some inspiration with you today. But before we dive into the KPIs and the objectives and whatnot, I would like to invite you to our Facebook community. If you've been here before, thank you for returning, but also this is a bit of a repetition, but please join Video for Social Media. That's our Facebook community. We're a group of enthusiastic people here at Storykit, sharing inspiration and best practices and the how-to stuff, tips and tricks about Storykit, of course, but also about just social media updates, video marketing, nice to haves. So please join. Very welcome to do so. But let's get started just by getting a sense of why we're here today. Well, first and foremost, it's because reaching business objectives on social is a tough, hard nut to crack. Filling out the weekly or the monthly reports sometimes is dreading. Even though you get a sense of the stuff's happening, of course you want the numbers to look good, and well, it's hard out there for us marketers, but we're gonna make it through. And I want to start off with just talking about a bit about fun content. The stuff that we do to rack up likes, because likes and engagement and the little hearts, they're amazing. They make us feel very good. They look really good when we see them on screen. But you know that it's what we call a vanity metric. They don't do that much for our businesses in the end. And if we actually want people to take action to become a new user or a new member or a new client, we have to do a little bit of other things with the content. If we want to persuade someone to actually be part of our community, we have to optimize the stuff that we do. And not doing this, only sharing the fun, the top of funnel things, that can lead to, well, racking up the likes, but you're not actually educating your audiences about what you do, about what you offer to them. And this might lead to a ROI blues. So we spend so much time creating this amazing content, but it doesn't really bring back the money that we spent creating it, even though it can be very cheap in the long term with Storykit. Kidding. And there's a risk of attracting the wrong crowd, because if we're doing the funny things, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do fun stuff, because you should. I do memes occasionally, and they're great for engagement, and that means better reach. But if we're not telling people exactly what we do, there might be like a clash between the people coming to us and what we can really offer. So these are the drawbacks, and this is what we want to avoid. And I want to refresh our minds about the marketing funnel, because this is what it's all about. I've been using these words, top of funnel, bottom of funnel, and it's really just helping your audience through the customer journey. And no marketing funnel is linear. People that are considering our tool also needs the top of funnel stuff, because it's more of a loop than a straight line. But it goes like this. So in my role, I do a lot of top of funnel content. I try to grab eyeballs on social. I want to make a memorable first impression, of course, and like creating loyal hello loyal relationships with people out there. If they get a good sense of what we do and what we know and how we can help people leverage their social media, that will hopefully leave a good impression on them. But then when people are aware of what we do, occasionally, hopefully, they will start to, once they're looking for a video tool, they've had some marketing touch points, they've seen some cool videos, they know that we have great insights on how social works. So by the time they're actually looking for a video tool, they will perhaps start to consider Storykit. They are putting us up against other video editing software or the more drag and drop kind of tools. So this is when we have to start educating people on a different level, making sure that we're actually the ones they want to go for eventually. And then comes decision day, and that's just when we want to immediate action from the audiences to take the plunge. We want to persuade them in actually doing it. And of course, as I said, these all go hand in hand. This means that we have to work both organically and paid. I'm all about the organic. I think it's super important that people can't just see our ads and then they go to our LinkedIn page or our Facebook page and they realize, well, okay, they haven't done anything but trying to convince me to book a demo for the past 2 months. You need to build a relationship before that. So what is the best way to grab those eyeballs, to spark the interest, and then eventually induce action? Well, of course, it's video. And why? Well, you know that video captures attention. You know all this because you're probably all doing video marketing. It's also the best for retention. Like my colleague Sophia mentioned on her LinkedIn the other day, is pictures are great, but she would probably not spend 16 seconds looking at an image, but 16 seconds on a video, that's just fun. And video is great for storytelling, of course, because it allows you to connect with your audiences in a much deeper level, especially if you're like using all of the senses is the most important thing we can do, really. And then there's the emotional impact, and that is so versatile, especially when it comes to Storykit, I guess, because it's so easy to take one short story and do it in so many different ways. You can just choose some assets, choose a different wording. It's really versatile. And I like to show this one. You've probably seen this before, especially if you've been listening to these kind of things. But I think that Mr. Elon Musk really hammers it down here. And this goes for all platforms, not just Twitter/X. He says that the more screen time users spend looking at a post, whether it's a text, a pic, or a video, the more it will be boosted. So video posted to Twitter or any other platform for that matter will be boosted more than an external link or a picture, because way more time is spent watching a video than clicking on a link. Video also keeps, like he's saying more or less, video keeps the audience on the platform longer and they don't want you to leave. So work with the algorithms. Don't be afraid of them. 10 seconds. It takes milliseconds to click on a link. It takes 10 seconds to watch a video. They want to keep their audiences for those 10 seconds. So let's talk about video throughout this funnel, because this is the fun stuff. So as I mentioned in the beginning, I had a chat, or I've had many chats with Sophia, one of my closest colleagues. She works she's our performance marketing manager. She handles all of our campaigns and the budgets. She is amazing at targeting audiences, different audiences we work primarily with LinkedIn. And yeah, she's just been leveraging our paid performance for the past 2 years. She's amazing. And she was kind enough to share best practices for videos on each stage. And these slides are a bit text heavy, but stay with me because great stuff to know. So when it comes to awareness videos, this is really where you can take your time to tell a story. I hope, of course, that you've been watching our previous webinars. We talk a lot about repurposing, how you can turn one article, one blog post, a report into multiple videos. You can do listicles, you can do quote videos, you can do the full story or just a teaser. But at the top of the funnel, I'm all about the in-feed, no-click content. That performs really the best because platforms want people to stay on the platform. And this is really where, when I do these kind of videos, I'm never trying to sell almost. I just want to share the stuff that we know and that will make potential users or our users better storytellers and better Storykit users, more or less. But we try to raise awareness of a problem. So it's tough being in marketing, and you want to get content out there, you don't know where to start. Well, here are 5 ways that you can turn one article into 5 videos. And what we're looking at here, if we know what performed well, is the video views and for how long someone spent. That's the only way I'm going to know eventually, more or less, how the stuff that I'm doing if it's good enough. Because I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but it's I mean, metrics on this level of the funnel are tough to like try to put down on a paper, because one person A, we can call him Michael. Michael has seen a Storykit video pops up in his feed. He spends 40 seconds looking at it. He thinks, okay, this was kind of cool. Scrolls on. He doesn't like it. He doesn't comment on it. He's just seen it. He's consumed it. Next day, that happens again, because since he stayed for 40 seconds, the algorithm is going to think, okay, so Michael's into Storykit videos. We'll show him another. He doesn't like it. He doesn't comment. This is going to happen 5 or 6 times, and Michael's never going to engage with my video. So I'm never going to know if Michael likes it or not. Besides, because I can see his personal view time. But eventually, maybe Michael will start at a new company, and someone in his marketing team mentions, oh God, we really need a text to video tool that just lets us grab a piece of content and turn it into multiple videos. And then Michael's going to be like, oh, but I know one. I've seen videos from the Storykit company. We'll check them out. And this doesn't end up on my report. But yeah, this is really where you just have to keep on grinding. But you can also boost these kind of videos. They're great for brand awareness. And when we're targeting those people, if we're boosting it, we can go by skills and functions, which is great on LinkedIn. They have great target segmentation. And we'll, of course, depending on if I do a video about how to save money by using Storykit, maybe we'll target more decision makers at companies. Or if I'm just doing a 20 best resources where you can find stock images, we're going to target that to the actual creators, perhaps. Okay, moving down, we have the considering videos. And we're still not trying to be very salesy, but we're trying to persuade people to actually do something. So we're using the same kind of storytelling, raising awareness of the problem, but we're also providing a solution to it. Now it's very clear that this is what you need to do, and the best way to do it is with Storykit. So there's a much stronger CTA here. We want to drive traffic, or we want people to download something or attend a webinar for that matter. And so now we're looking more at the clicks and how much traffic it generated. And of course, if it's a good video, that's the only way we're going to know if something's working or not. So we're looking at retention as well. I hope that this will make a lot more sense when I show you the video examples. Maybe I should have done that before, but we'll get there. Hang on, everyone. Okay, so then comes the action videos. These are super short. The top of funnel videos, as I said, take your time. You can use up to 90 seconds, 2 minutes. If your video is good enough, and if you can keep the audience's attention for that long, that length is fine. But when we want someone to take action, 10 to 15 seconds perform the best according to LinkedIn. And this is just really pointing out a problem, giving people a solution. And this is really where you can dare to be salesy. And you want to maybe almost write someone on the nose what they're supposed to do next. People want to know where to go. And now we've moved on from the retention, because it's going to be super short. So we're going to look at the conversions and the click-throughs. And when you a really good tip that Sophia gave was that when you're targeting for these kind of videos, you can actually retarget the ones that have been to our website, clicked through earlier, that's visited our business page, and so on. So retarget at this point is really good. Okay, I'm going to take a quick sip. Okay. All right. So I want to, as always, talk about the fact that you, everyone out there, is most probably already sitting on a gold mine of content, because you've spent time, energy, you've poured your heart and soul into creating the reports, writing the blog posts, interviewing for the case studies. So use this. A lot of companies, I almost sounded mad, I'm sorry. A lot of companies, I think it's very common that we create the top of funnel content ourselves, but as soon as we want to create like a cool, snappy ad, we outsource this. But you don't have to do this. You can save a lot of money by bringing your like bottom of funnel content in-house as well. Because for the money spent on outsourcing something, you can create 10 pieces of your own, try those out, A/B test them, and spend the money on targeting and the ads instead of the outsourcing. So I just want to show you how we created 3 different videos just from one case study, because case studies as a B2B company is really the most like powerful message that you can use. So we have a company called Canon. You might know them. You might hear this music. I forgot to press mute. But Canon, the huge company that makes cameras and the printers and everything, they use Storykit. And this is a bit longer video that I made for social. It has the background and the problem, the solution, and the powerful quotes. So people can just consume this in feed and get a sense or get knowledge that Canon's using Storykit, and they don't really have to do anything else. It's just, okay, cool. Very loud to me. Oi. But then we, as we move down the consideration stage that I also want to publish, is a shorter, snappier one. The storytelling is pretty much the same, but oh my God, now I have 3 songs. Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. It's not how I planned. But yeah, so they will be different in terms of length and just what kind of CTAs we're using. And yeah, they're different. I'm gonna move on. And sorry. But I also do create content from scratch. I did this one yesterday. Actually, guys, I'm gonna do just a short thing. Volume. No volume. No volume. No volume. Thank you for staying with me. So I made this one yesterday since I wanted to, I'm all about the full funnel now. So I made this one for the awareness stage, if you want to call it that. This is just for someone to scroll by. No, not they don't. I don't want them to keep scrolling. They're scrolling in feed. They discovered this cool best practices video from us, and it's a longer one. It doesn't have a CTA. It's just an awareness thing. Storykit knows so much about how to do good ads and targeting and A/B testing. Yeah, that's a marketing touch point. Then I did this middle one. So the metric here is click through, and it's really like an article trailer. I want to drive traffic to an article, so it's shorter, and it ends with, you can follow link and comment to get our LinkedIn newsletter. And then the ad one that we made for a webinar a couple of weeks ago. So it's really just, here's a webinar, sign up today. And what we're hoping is that when people have seen a couple of the other ones before, they will attend the webinar. Right. Sorry for the little mess up there, but it's time for us to head into the tool, and I'll show you exactly how we can do this ourselves. So as I said, a very effective way to do ads is for us using case studies, and this is how you can do it yourself. Here's the case study. It's long. We've been discussing this before, but people have to be very high intended, and really looking for a tool to visit our page and actually check out our customer story. So we need to get it in front of people. It's an amazing article, case study written by Maddie, our content manager, and it's perfect to use as ads. So I'll just copy this URL, new video. You know how this is done. Show, choose my theme, write script. And then I copy paste the URL. It's going to go to the web page and fetch the content. And it's never as fast as when I'm doing this by myself and not share screening. And then I'm going to choose the creator for this, meaning I'm choosing what kind of output I want. So we got some teasers, which are great. If you have a press release, there's a bunch. We just updated these the other day. But here we have case stories. And if I want to make a longer one, I can also choose to have a quote, and we'll create. And I have questions. Fabian. Oh. Sorry. Thank you, Fabian, Paula, Ivana, and the anonymous person. I hear that you still see my presentation. I will start a new share. So this is where I've been at in the tool. You probably have some knowledge about this, but I went and just grabbed the URL from our case study, and I told the AI to go fetch that information, and then here's my script. So this is a longer one, which is great for both top of funnel and the middle, but it has a CTA that goes that we can read more about Canon Storykit experience. So great for driving traffic. And then I got some favorite slides of my own. So for example, I think I'm gonna do, why not the focus? No, I'm gonna choose one of the latest ones, the logo plate. And then I can check my, and I mean, I can do as many edits that I want here. Maybe I'll choose some different assets. What I do have is a picture of Åsa. I hope she's okay with me just recklessly using her in my video. Yeah. And I'll create that one. And meanwhile, I'm gonna clear my Q&A. There was a bunch of you telling that you can't see my screen, which I'm very grateful for. So, and I think this looks great. I got the powerful quotes. I got the background to it, how they found the solution, and the strong CTA. So I can just create that one. And while that's being created, I'm gonna open a new window. head back, and we can do a, this is what I did from the beginning. I'm just gonna see. Write script. I still have the URL copied. Oh, I have a question. Viviana, how much a case study video should last? So I'm guessing we're talking video length here. And as I said before, well, the short answer or the very long answer is that it depends. But I'm thinking, if I'm using a case study just really for like persuading the last, just really convincing someone that's been considering Storykit for a long time to head over and read the case study because they want to be like canon. I think 10 seconds is enough, maybe even 5. You can just do one slide with a powerful quote with an outro that shows the logo of the other company. Or like the one that we've been creating here, it could be like 40, well, this is a minute, but as well. But if we're doing the short and snappy ads just to really make someone take action, I think keep it to 10-15 seconds. That should be enough. So here's like the full case story that would be great for top of funnel as well. And of course, I will send you the ideas of every of these. So let's make a shorter one then. Maybe we can try making a teaser for it, statement teaser. Transform your video production with Storykit. Canon successfully increased their video production engagement by utilizing Storykit for localized content. Read more and discover how Storykit can help you. I think this looks amazing. It's just enough. I'll do a, no, I'll take the Canon camera down here. So it's giving me a script that I can use straight away, but I might go in and do some editing or like some fine touch. And I can instead choose here the sponsor outro. And I can choose Canon's logo and our own to make it even more powerful. So this one's 21 seconds. Great for middle of funnel. Yeah. So now I got myself 2 videos. One with longer storytelling for middle of funnel maybe, and one really short and punchy one. So yeah, I've been talking now for almost 40 minutes. And we made 2 videos in just like a couple of them because of my mistakes. It took a bit longer. But yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing and return to you to see if there are any questions from you to me. I got a little off track with the presentation thing. It's weird that I haven't gotten more used to it. That's how it is. But I'll be sending out the recording, of course, so you can watch it again because it was so good. And then the presentation, and I'll include the storyboard ideas so you can just copy paste them into your own video tool for you to use with your own branding and your own theme. But otherwise, I'll let you off the hook. Thank you for giving me hearts. Oh, question. For the consideration funnel, what's the average length of the videos? I tend to keep it between maybe 15, 20 seconds. If they're like in the consideration funnel, we mostly do the webinar ads and some also like what I do is mostly around 40 seconds for a longer video that has a little bit more of a background, like here's the problem, here's the solution, tips and tricks, the best, the how-tos and all that. And then for the consideration, if we're doing webinar signups, for example, we can either do like 10 seconds, join this webinar, and we can put a little bit more text in the caption, or actually just shortly describing a problem, like doing ads is complicated, but it doesn't have to be join our webinar. So Viviana, that was a long answer. I would go for 20 seconds maybe. Ivana, thanks for the great inspiration. Thank you so much for joining. Josephine, really liked the webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maria, for joining. And thank you, Viviana, for your great questions. I'm really grateful that you stay with me today, even though I made some minor mistakes. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.